Good morning, students. In this class, let us discuss 3-mark questions on pointers. So what are the possible 3-mark questions? The first question, what are the advantages of pointer? What are the advantages of pointers? You need to write 3 points here. So as you know, efficient programs can be written and memory can be utilized properly. We can allocate memory dynamically, isn't it? These are the main advantages of pointers, and we can easily deal with the hardware devices like printer. So first point, we can write efficient programs. Second, memory can be utilized properly. Memory can be utilized properly. Next, using pointers, we can allocate dynamic memory. And so I'll give 4 points. Any 3 points you can write. Easily deals with hardware devices. Program is easily deals with or easily communicate with. Add the word program easily deals with the hardware devices like printer, scanner, like this. Next, how dynamic memory allocation is different from static memory allocation. So any 3 points you have to write here. Any 3 points. Next question, second question, how static memory is differentiated from dynamic memory. As you know, the difference between static memory and dynamic memory. Any 3 points are enough here. Static and dynamic. See, the first point, allocation of memory takes place before execution time or before run. Allocation of memory takes place before execution. Understood? Here, allocation of memory takes place during execution. Allocation of memory takes place during execution. During execution of program. And the second point, amount of memory to be allocated is pre-known. Here in static allocation, if you want to store a value, if you want to store 5 integers, you will allocate a of 5, isn't it? That is fixed. How many elements you want to store? that much memory location you will allocate in a static memory location, whereas in dynamic memory during execution memory will be allocated. So until the execution we don't know how much memory it has to execute, it has to allocate. Here amount of memory to be allocated is pre-known. Here amount of memory to be allocated is not known before execution, is not known before execution of program. And third point, these are the main points that you need to write when they ask difference between static and dynamic. Of course we have 5 points, we can write 5 points. We have 5 points for the differentiation, but what are the main points I am writing here? We cannot modify the size of memory in static allocation. It is not flexible, okay? It's not possible, it is not possible to modify or not possible to increment or decrement the size of allocated memory during execution. At the time of execution we cannot modify the size in static allocation, whereas in dynamic allocation it is possible to increment or decrement the size of allocated memory during execution. It is possible to increment or decrement the size of allocated memory, size of memory. It is not allocated before execution. Size of memory during execution. So these are the main points for differentiation between static and dynamic allocation. Then third question, illustrate the use of self-referential structure with the help of example. So in the last class we discussed for 1 mark question. Now how to write the answer for 3 mark. Next, fourth question. Illustrate the use of self-referential structure using example. So first we have to write a definition of self-referential structure. Later we have to give an example. After that we have to write the explanation about that example, how that example illustrate the self-referential structure. See, what does it mean, self-referential structure? A structure in which the member of structure, if it is a pointer, that pointer is same structure type, then it is called self-referential structure. A structure includes a member that is a pointer of same structure type. Okay. Answer. It is a structure which includes a member which includes a member that is a pointer of same structure type, Now example, struct node, I'll consider node. Here I'll take an integer variable num. According to the definition, it includes a member that is a pointer. I'll take star next. Name of the pointer is next here, and it is the pointer of same structure type, node. Close semicolon. So this is an example for self-referential structure. Then how to write the explanation about this structure? In this example, the structure node includes the data member, I'll call it as member because it is not a class. So member is nothing but data member itself. Include member that is star next. Member star next is a pointer of its type, that is node type. Therefore, it is self-referential structure. So definition, example, and explanation about this example. Next question. What is new operator in C++? Give an example. Okay. See, new operator, it is a special operator used in a C++, and it is used to allocate memory dynamically during runtime. So we can allocate memory, normal memory location, and also arrays. What is new operator in C++? Give an example. Sorry, this is third question. It's fourth one. What is new operator? New operator in C++. Give an example. Answer. A new operator is special operator in C++. It is used to allocate memory dynamically. During runtime. Using this new operator, we can also allocate memory for arrays dynamically. Example, data type, syntax. They have asked example, no? So I'll write example. I'll show examples on normal variable and also for arrays. Example, data type space, I'll take integer, int star p is equal to new int. And another example for arrays, I'll take int star p is equal to new int of 5, I'll take 5. So it allocates continuous memory locations 5 to store 5 integers, and that memory, that array is pointed by the pointer p. How does it point? The base address of array stores in this pointer p. Next, fifth question. And also you can show for 3 mark, no, you can show example for user defined data type. Instead of int, if I take student, student is a user defined data type, star p, new student, semicolon. See, in the first example, we have taken basic data type. So it allocates an integer memory during execution. In this example, we have taken array. So I am going to allocate memory for array of size 5 using new operator. And in this example, we are going to allocate a user defined data type memory location, that is student type, using this pointer and new operator. So these are all dynamic memory allocations of different type. It is integer type variable, and it is array, and it is user defined type variable. Next, now what is delete operator in C++? Give an example. Next question. What is delete operator in C++? Give an example. Answer. As we have new operator, we already know delete operator and new operator, isn't it? New operator is used to allocate memory dynamically, whereas delete operator, it deallocates the memory location which has been allocated dynamically using new operator. So delete operator is used to delete the memory dynamically which has been allocated using new operator. So how we allocated dynamic memory, using new operator. So that allocated dynamic memory location is released or deallocated by using the operator called delete operator. Understood? Example, delete. Let us compare with this. We have allocated this memory, okay, star P now. I'll take P1, P2, P3. Delete P. So this pointer P1, delete P1, okay, and delete P2. So this is for that P2. We have allocated P2, that is array, no? So how to write array? Like this. We have to write the square bracket and name. Then delete P3. In this way we can use delete operator. Next. Show the general form of new and delete operator. Show the general form of new and delete operator. Now, you have to write the syntax for this. Syntax, data type, syntax for new operator. Data type, star, pointer name is equal to new and data type, semicolon. So better you have to write the example also. I'll take float here. Float star P is equal to new float. Next, syntax for delete operator. Delete variable name, semicolon. Delete variable, or you can write pointer name. Here we have taken pointer, no? Pointer name here also. Pointer, semicolon. Next, what is array of pointers? Then give an example. It's very important question. What is array of pointers? Give an example. See, many times they ask this question in the final exam, what is array of pointers, and give an example. See, for this question you have to write both array of pointers for isolated variables and array of pointers for array elements. First, let us write the definition. Array of pointer means array of pointers means array of or collection of addresses. Collection of addresses. Example. First, let us write the syntax here. Syntax. Data type star pointer name size. Now, example. Array of pointers for isolated variables. So don't write the program, you have to write the main code here. I'll take int star p of 5, 3 I'll take, and a, b, c, 3 variables. Now p of 0 is equal to ampersand a, p of 1 is equal to why I am writing like this, I hope you know. We discussed all these things while explaining array of pointers, that's why I am writing. Not giving much explanation about this, we already discussed. So the addresses of these 3 variables are stored in this array of pointers, so that I can access or I can read values for these isolated variables using pointer. For int I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, p of c in extraction, p of 0 contains address of a, so I want to move to the location a, that's why I have to write star p of I. So in this way we can write array of pointers for isolated variables and array of pointers for array elements. Array of pointers for array elements. So to make the code simple, I'll initialize array here. Instead of reading from the keyboard, int star p of 3 I'll take, and one more array I'll take a of 3, and to this array let me write here int a of 3 is equal to, I'll give values 4, 6 and 9. So this is called array initialization. Now I want to display the contents of this array A using this pointer, this array of pointers. Let us store the address of each location of this array into pointer. For int I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. Let us initialize first. P of 0 is equal to P of I is equal to ampersand a of I. So when it enters the loop, what is the first process here? The address of each location is stored in this array, pointer array. After that, I'll display the content star P of I \n. So this is array of pointer for isolated variables, and this is array of pointers for array elements. In this way you have to write the explanation. Next question. These things are mandatory for 3 marks. What is the relationship between array and pointers? Give an example. Okay, for this question, let us understand, let us recall the concept constant pointer, isn't it? What is the relationship between array and pointers? So before going to write the example, first we shall write what is the relationship between array and pointer. So how to start? What are the things you need to include for this question, for the answer? Name of array. When we declare any array, the name of array is considered as constant pointer, isn't it? So by considering the name of array is a constant pointer, let us read and display array elements. In that way, we can show the relationship between arrays and pointers. You know that pointer is nothing but it's a variable, it stores the address of another variable. When we declare array, name of array automatically contains the address of first memory location. So we treat it as a pointer. So in that way, we can relate array and pointers. When we declare an array, the name of array stores the address of first memory location, which is called as base address. Therefore, I'll continue here. Array name is treated as constant pointer. In this way, we can relate arrays and pointers. Now, program to illustrate relationship between arrays and pointers. And I don't want to write the entire program code. Okay, just I'll write the code. Int a of 3 is equal to 146. So what does it mean? There is an array, its name is A and it contains 3 elements, integer array it is. So by considering array name is a constant pointer, isn't it? name of it is called a constant pointer, no? Array name is a constant pointer. So by in that way, in that manner, let us display the contents of array. For int I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. Cout insertion. So what is there in A? Address of first memory location. I want to move into the location, that is I want to display 1. So instead of writing A, I must write star A. Okay, star A. For the next location, array, it is a constant pointer, no? We cannot increment constant pointer. So I must use I, that is index, \n semicolon. You all know already. A, it contains, suppose the address is like this, name of array A 146012, assume 200, 202, 204. What is there in the array name A? 200 is there. 200, right now I is 0, 200 plus 0, 200 itself. Star 200 means 1, it display 1. \n cursor comes to next line. I increments, I becomes 1. 200, still it is 200. We cannot modify the constant pointer. 200 means, that is a base address. 200 plus 1 means one time increment. Andre next memory ge illi navu assign ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. A is equal to A plus I ಅಂತ ಬರಿತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಅನ್ಸ್ಬೋದು A ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರು ಇದನ್ನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಡಿಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಐ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಅಸೈನ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ದಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಫೈಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಎ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಐ ಅಂತ ಬರೀತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಐ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ, ಎ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಐ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎ ಒಳಗೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಷ್ಟೇ. ಎ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ 200 ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಒನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಹತ್ರ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದು 200 ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಒನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್. because A is an integer array, so 2 byte 202, it moves 202, star 202, 4 will be displayed. Next I becomes 2, 2 less than 3. From the base address itself ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದನೇ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. 200 plus 2 ಅಂದರೆ 2 time increment, 1 time increment 202, 2 time increment 204. So what is there in the 204? 6 star 204, 6 will be displayed. Now I increments, I becomes 3, 3 less than 3, condition false, it terminates the loop. In this way we can explain relationship between arrays and pointers. Next, what is free store? So it's very simple. What we had explained in the 1 mark question, the same thing we have to write in the 3 points. Ninth question. Explain free store. First point. Free store is a pool of unallocated memory locations. Free store is a pool of unallocated memory locations. Second point. It is used for dynamic memory allocation. It is used for dynamic memory allocation. And third point, to allocate memory dynamically using this free store, using new operator, isn't it? Using new operator from this pool, memory will be allocated during execution. So in this way you can make 3 points. So this all 3 points together form the definition of free store, but for 3 mark we can make 3 points like this. 10th question. What is the relationship between strings and pointers? Give example. What is the relationship between, it is also important, relationship between strings and pointers. Give example. See, we discussed while discussing strings and pointers. Okay. So there are 2 methods to initialize string. Let us start like this. There are 2 methods to initialize string. Method 1. In this method, char str1 I'll consider, str1 I'll take unsized array here, hello. Okay, automatically it takes the size 6, 5 memory locations for 5 characters and 1 more for null terminator. In this method, str1 is treated as constant pointer. str1 is the name of the string. Name of the string is nothing but array name, character array, isn't it? Because str1 is name of character array. Character array. So according to the rule, the name of array contains the base address. That's why we call it as constant pointer. Constant pointers cannot be modified. Constant pointers cannot be modified. And method 2. While explaining that concept, I had taken a program, but for 3 mark, no need to write the entire program. You have to write in method 1 and method 2 like that. Only the main code you can write. Method 2. Char star str2. str2 is a character pointer is equal to hello. Okay, so this string is pointed by this array, this pointer. Here str2 is character pointer character type pointer to the string hello. Therefore it is a pointer to string. Pointer to string can be modified. Pointer to string can be modified. Example, char str1 is equal to hello. Char star str2 is equal to hello. str1 plus plus invalid statement. Whereas str2 plus plus is a valid statement, because str2 is a pointer to string, str1 is a constant pointer, so we cannot modify it. Therefore str2 plus plus display ELLO, because plus plus means one time increment operation. str is a character type. When you increment one time, 1 byte will be incremented. It display from E and it skips H. Understood? See, this is invalid statement because str1 is a character array, that is string, name of the string. It's a constant pointer, we cannot modify, that's why it's invalid. And str2 is a character pointer. This pointer to this string, it's a pointer. str2 is a pointer. Which type pointer? Character type pointer. To which string? Hello, this string. Okay, that's why we can modify str2. And when you display str2, if you display, it display from E. Okay, sorry. Next question. What is the relationship between structures and pointers? What is the relationship between pointers and structures? So you have to write explanation and example here. Pointers can also store the address of structure variable. How to access the members of structure? Using pointer. The member operator, the member access operator using pointer is star and dot operator, star and dot, first one, and another arrow operator. Either you can use star and dot operator or arrow operator. Example, struct emp employee, I'll take, int employee ID, char employee name of 20. So now I'll close here. Here I'll take variable E1 and star P. Now P is a pointer. Which type pointer? Employee type pointer, and E1 is a variable of employee. Okay. Now to access the members of structure EMP using the pointer P, use star and dot operator or arrow operator. That is scene extraction. So before that we have to initialize the address. P is equal to ampersand E1. Now scene extraction P star P dot EID star P dot ename. Cout, I'll use arrow operator now. P arrow EID, I'll display one by one \n. P arrow ename semicolon. Either you can write this method or you can directly write the program. After writing this up to here, you can start with the program, or you can write the main code and you can explain like this. Okay. What is the relationship between object and pointers? Give an example. Here also, in order to access members of an object, we have to use star and dot operator or arrow operator. Pointers can also stores the address of class variables, that is objects. It's very important. To access members of class using pointer to object, we use star and dot operator. You have to write and, otherwise you may confused with this operator, that is address operator. Don't write that operator. Star and dot operators or arrow operator. Example, directly you can write a simple program here. header files, class, student, I'll take student. I'll take only one data member here, int register number, that is in a private section. In the public section, I'll take a function void show cout, enter register number, scene extraction reg, cout reg register number colon, I'll display reg semicolon, function close, class close, semicolon. Now the main function void main, open flat bracket, let us create an object student s1 and pointer I'll take. So p is equal to ampersand s1. Now we have to access value, we have to read value for this data member, and it is a private section, private member. We cannot access private member here. So to access a private member, we have a function called show function. So through this function I am accessing this variable, this data member. Let us call this function, it is a public member, so I can call public member from main function using object and dot operator. If you want to call this function using object itself, you must write object and dot operator. But I want to call that function using this pointer. This is a pointer to this object. So how to access? Show is a member, no? It is a member function. Whatever data member or member function collectively called as a member. So which is a member access operator with a pointer, star and dot or arrow operator. Anyone you can use here. I'll use p arrow show. So this is accessing class member. You all know how to write commands in C++, double slash, it is a single line command. Accessing class member using pointer to object. Now the last question, what are the operations performed on pointers? Pointers explain. First, we can add an integer. You must write like this. Either an a baribeku idakke. We must add an integer to the pointer. We can subtract an integer from the pointer. Third, we can increment pointers. We can decrement pointers. We can add or subtract two pointers when they point same array elements. This is very important, same array elements. Otherwise we cannot subtract. Example, first example, int star p semicolon p is equal to p plus 2. So incremented by 4 bytes, incremented by 4 bytes. One time increment 2 byte, 2 times 4 byte, because it is integer pointer. Second example, I'll take float here, float star p1. If I write p is equal to p minus 2. So p is a floating type pointer, no? If you decrement one time 4 byte, it move backwards by 4 bytes. If you decrement it by 2 times, then 8 byte, decremented by 8 bytes. By 8 bytes. Third, so this is an example for first point, and this is for second point. We can increment pointer. Third, p plus plus, incremented by 2 byte. One time incrementation, it is a integer type pointer, so 2 bytes. Next, we can decrement pointer. So p minus minus decremented by 2 bytes. So here I will declare int star p. Here int star p by 2 byte. Unless you declare what type of pointer, if you write this example, it doesn't have any meaning. So it is enough. So this point you can mention. For this again you need to write the array and all. So for 3 mark it is enough. Next. Explain with the example invoking function by passing pointers. This is the last question. Explain with an example invoking function using pointers. So first you need to write the explanation here. With an example, invoking function using pointers. What does it mean using pointer? So the address of actual arguments are passed to formal argument. That formal argument must be a pointer, isn't it? So I won't write the answer here. Already we discussed in the functions, relationship between functions and pointers. There we discussed pointers and functions. When we use pointers to pass the address of actual argument to formal argument, there we used pointers. In such situation, we don't have two separate memory locations, that is for actual and formal argument. The actual argument address will be stored in the pointers. Those pointers are declared in the function header. So in this way we can pass address if you make any changes in the function definition, if it is affected to the original objects or original variable, or we can call it as actual variables. I hope you understood the concepts what we covered in the pointers chapters. So the weightage is 4 marks, 1 mark 1 question and 3 mark questions. Thank you.